Hey everybody, it's in the morning time in Thailand. I'm getting ready to go to the pool here, hang out with a couple of friends like in the morning, a little bit of a morning routine. But before I go to the pool, just want to share with you one main tip here that why manifesting isn't working for you, or why you're not why things are not appear anyway not going your way. Like what's going on here? And we're only going to talk about one thing. I mean, there could be many things. We have many habits that we have that things kind of repel things from us. But one of the things I want to talk to you really quick about is we're not going through the frustration phase. Okay. We all, no matter what we do, no matter if we're talking about manifesting, we're talking about we're trying to get in better shape, we're going to college, we're learning a new skill. No matter what we're talking about, we all go through that frustration phase. And we go through that frustration phase when we start off as a beginner. When we're in a very, very beginner, you go through that frustration phase to be kind of a novice. Then you go through another frustration phase to kind of go from a novice to intermediate. Then you go through another frustration phase to go from intermediate to advanced. Okay, what's really happening is that we're throwing in the towel too quickly. We're ready to give up. Okay, we're ready to basically say that, see, I told you manifesting don't work. See, I knew from the beginning this stuff is just doesn't work. I knew from the beginning people were just lucky. It has nothing to do with manifesting. It has nothing to do with abundance as aside me. We're ready to give up too quick. We're not going through that frustration phase. And let me give you some examples with this. Is that let's say I've let myself get out of shape. Okay, I used to be in really really good shape. I mean when people look at me as far as my age, they might say, "Well, Chad, you're in okay shape. You look like you try to keep yourself healthy." But I'm not in great shape as where I used to be. And I started going back to the gym in June when I went home to visit family. I started going back to the gym, started being a little bit more active as far as working out wise, not just running around active. But I've been going to the gym since June. But when you go back to the gym, especially when your muscles are out of shape, you're aerobically out of shape, and when you look in the mirror, you look out of shape. And I think everybody can identify with this because when you go to the gym, you have to go through that frustration phase. And that frustration phase is quite a while depending upon your level of fitness, depending upon how in shape you really are. How or maybe you went backwards. You let yourself tremendously get out of shape. You have to go through that frustration phase. And in that frustration phase is you've been working out for a month. Maybe you work out 5 days a week, 3 days a week, but you don't miss workouts. You've been doing it for a whole month, and you start kind of feeling better a little bit. You can make it through your workouts a little bit better. You notice that you're getting stronger, but when you look in the mirror, you look exactly the same. You know what I mean? That's that frustration phase because we're looking at the external again. Okay, we're looking at the external. External is our body. Is we're looking in the mirror and it's like, crap, I've been putting in all this hard work, but I look exactly the same. Maybe I feel a tiny bit better, but I look exactly the same. Then maybe we hang on for 2 months. The same thing happens. Okay, we feel a little bit better. We're getting stronger in the gym. Maybe our endurance is going up. We can last a little bit longer. We can do harder workouts, but still the same thing happens. When we look in the mirror at home, I look exactly the same. You know what I mean? I still look out of shape. Okay, because we're looking for that. We're looking to that external, and at that point, that's that frustration phase. We start getting frustrated. We start feeling like this isn't working. Then what do most people do? Most people quit. Most people throw in the towel. Okay. There's another group of people that even, they walk around with all their friends that said, well, I've been on this diet and that diet. I've done every single exercise routine and nothing works. Okay. And the reality of the picture is, the truth is, it's not the routine that's not working. It's not this diet scheme that's not working. It's you that's not working. That's really the answer to this. It's you that's not working. And what's not working is you're not hanging in there. You're not going through that frustration phase. You're not going through that phase of frustration because I'm putting in all this hard work. And even now, I've been working out since June, and right now it's near the end of September. Another 6 days, it's going to be October. Okay, I've been working out for almost 4 months, and I can notice a little bit. I look in the mirror, I can notice a little bit of change. I feel a lot better. My endurance has went up, my activity has went up. I feel a whole lot better. I've gotten stronger in the gym, and when I look in the mirror, I can tell a little bit of difference, but I'm not exactly where I want to be. That's where I used to be, or where I want to be. Okay, so it causes that frustration phase. When I still look in the mirror, I still have a little gut on me, and I'm just like, dude, why isn't this going away? That's that frustration phase. Even though I have all this experience, because I used to be a professional athlete, I used to be in really super shape, and I know this. But even though me knowing this material, is I still go through this frustration phase. Okay, you have to go through this phase. Same way with manifesting. The frustration phase with manifesting is, yes, you really want, you set an intention, you really want it, you're doing all this work, and you don't see anything in your external world. You don't see anything coming in your 3D world. And you think, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? But it's just going through that phase, because that's that learning curve. You're learning. That's why you're going through that frustration phase. Now, you have to go through that frustration phase because you have to, in manifesting, you really have to believe that abundance is inside you. You attract from inside out. That's how law of attraction works. That's how law of assumption works. Don't make this harder than what it really is. Is you attract from inside out. It's from what's inside you. That's what you see in your external world when you're manifesting. It's coming from within. You have to change within, and that this is where this frustration phase starts. Is one of the things that kind of gets me. And I know I'm jumping around here and stuff like that, but one of the things that gets me with manifesting is that once we become aware of our thoughts, and we become aware of our habits, and once we become aware of our negative thoughts, or constantly thinking negative, constantly think about what I don't want, constantly think about what I don't like. Okay, then I become aware of my negative habits I have, or the habits I have that don't suit me, or the person I want to be. Once I become aware of this, then we get frustrated, and we let this frustration eat at us, and then we start making an excuse for it. We start thinking like, well, this stuff don't work. This stuff is too hard. But you have to go through it. It's just like the fear barrier. Okay, when you get up to that fear barrier, what you want, your dream life, is on the other side of fear. But all of us have a different fear barrier. All of us have different things that scare us to death. And everybody listening to this, you're always going to come up to this fear barrier. You're always going to come up to this fear barrier that you have to break through. You can't run back to your comfort zone. Okay, you living in your comfort zone isn't going to bring your dream life. And the same thing, you not going through this frustration phase, this phase that frustrates you, and you give up, you throw in the towel, isn't going to give you your dream life. And that's one of the main culprits. That's the reason why you're not really manifesting your dream house, your dream car, your dream career, is because you're not really going through that frustration phase. We all going to go through it. And all of us have experience with this. Either it's in a gym, it's working out, you're trying to learn a new skill because you're a beginner, you're a novice, and every time you learn a new skill, you basically suck at it. That's that frustration phase. Is because you're doing that learning curve. Okay, the learning curve is a different way of saying that frustration phase. Is we're all going through that learning curve of having abundance inside us, knowing that abundance is inside me, knowing the Spirit of God lives inside me, knowing if the Spirit and God is inside me, what that means is I have the same power of God. God's given me this power. God's given the abundance inside me. This is why Jesus, like in the Bible, said when it was coming down to his last days before he got crucified, he told all his disciples, go out and spread the good news. What does that really mean? Go out and spread the good news. It means that abundance is inside you. I mean, it's the same thing as you ask, believe, and receive. This is all over the Bible. Abundance is inside you. That's what Jesus was really trying to preach. I go, yes, he's our savior. Yes, if you believe in him, you go to heaven and stuff like that. But those are the basics. But the biggest thing with Jesus, you have to go back to history. history during that time Jesus lived was that you had the king oppress its people. Then you had the strong religious leaders at that time oppress its people. So you had oppression from both sides. You had oppression from the king that kept people in poverty. Then you had oppression from the strong religious leaders that too kept people in poverty. Okay, poverty thinking, poverty mentality. When Jesus is spreading the good news, is abundance is inside you. Abundance is your birthright. If heaven is within you, you can do whatever God has. As you believe, you receive. It all comes down to your thoughts. But to have our dream life, we have to go through this frustration phase. We have to go through this learning curve. Because in the beginning, the greatest frustration phase with law of attraction is with manifesting, is we start becoming aware. We start becoming aware of our negative thoughts and our negative habits. And if we don't stay with this learning curve, we don't stay to the end of this frustration phase where we get to our promised land a little bit, when things just start working out. And the reason why things start working out and manifesting is because you totally believe that you deserve it. You totally believe that abundance is inside you. That's pretty much what it is. You totally believe that what you want, you believe can come to you. Simple as that. You do this stuff over and over and over. You have your affirmations. You have your ask affirmations or aspirations. You ask yourself questions throughout the day. As your mind goes in the gutter, you have affirmations that you say to yourself that kind of switch around your thoughts. But you have to stay through this frustration. You have to stay through this phase. I know I'm saying this over and over and over, but so many people throw in the towel, and they have a habit of throwing in the towel when they get frustrated. And they might last a little bit, but sooner or later you're going to throw in the towel. What I'm telling you here is don't throw in the towel. Keep with it, because there is an end to that frustration phase. There is an end to this learning curve. When you finally just get it, when you finally just wake up one day and you get it. You wake up one day and you totally believe, like, I can have my dream car. Why can't I have my dream car? Then you end up meeting somebody that has your dream car, and you start to know them. See, this is why when you hang around with, let's say, for example, people with your dream car, people with your dream house, people that have a salary that you want, you hang around with other millionaires. When you hang around with people long enough that have what you want, what happens is you start becoming more confident, because you start truly believing as, dude, if they can have it, if they can do it, I can do it. If this joke can do it, I can do it. If this cornball can do it, I can do it. That's why it's so powerful hanging around with people having what you want. Because one, it's going to push you to a different level. It's going to push you to a different thinking level. But then two or three with that is that you start seeing that they're not any more special than you. And if they can do it, you can do it. Anybody out there having your dream house, if they can do it, you can do it. Anybody that has your dream car, if they can have that car, so can you. Any millionaire out there, and that's what you want, if they can do it, you can do it. You truly have to believe this, and you have to believe this to your core. Okay, you truly just have to wake up, and that's what you think about. You just believe it. Bottom line. But anyway, I'm going to go jump in the pool. They basically turned on the water here, so I'm going to get a lot of sound barrier that it's going to be hard to kind of take out this video. But just want to share those things with people. Hang in there. Stop giving up. Stop giving up too soon. Okay? We all go through that frustration phase. We all go through that learning curve, no matter what we do. But we have to hang in there. We have to go through it. Bottom line, we all have to go through it. And once we go through it, we get to our promised land. Then we get to a new level. And guess what? When we get to a new level, we have to go through the phase all over again. Okay, it never really stops. We're going to have things that kind of stop us, but we're going to get better at it. That's the whole key. We're not going to stay in that frustration phase as long as we did in the very beginning. But other than that, my friends, remember, I love you. Peace out to you. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I answer all my comments. Might take me a little bit, but I do answer all my comments. But peace, blessings to you, and I'll see you at the top.